Marvel 2-in-1 presents The Thing and the Liberty Legion. This is issue number 20. This is continuing from the annual number 1. And usually I don't see comic stories continuing from an annual. Usually something goes into an annual, and the annual is the big event, the big conclusion. But that doesn't happen here. This story continues the convoluted story that began in Fantastic Four, where they were looking for a missing cylinder of vibranium that was taken from their Baxter building and went back in time and altered time and caused the Nazis to win World War II. And so the Fantastic Four teamed up with the invaders and thought they got all of the vibranium, but there's still some left, and Thing goes back in time and teams up with the Liberty Legion against forgotten villains to get the rest of the vibranium. This was released in July 1976, but the cover date is October 1976. The cover art is by Jack Kirby, John Romita, Danny Crespi, and Frank Giacoia. The Thing and the Liberty Legion. When we last saw the Thing, he was battling a flying, whirling swastika. This is a big metal contraption, and the Thing is trying to spring his way up towards it and bash the crap out of it. This is written by Roy Thomas, and the artist is Sal Buscema. And Thing is in World War II, basically 1942, and he's fighting this flying swastika here. And he finds the pilot is this brain that is called Brain Drain. And Brain Drain is bragging about his device and everything, and then they recap the events of the last few issues. The Watcher had sent Thing back in time to get the rest of the vibranium. There's this guy named Sky Shark who's a villain. And Thing met the Liberty Legion. Can I name all of them? There's Jack Frost to the left, Whizzer right next to him. Next to him is Red Raven. There's Miss America. There's Blue Diamond. There's Patriot. There's Thin Man, who's a pilot hero man. So they all try to foil these attempts at getting experimental vibranium items like a cockpit and an engine. But they couldn't. All these master villains of the time, like U-Man and Master Plan, foiled them. And now Thing is battling this flying swastika, which is cutting through buildings. And he smashes through the contraption, and it really upsets this brain. And the contraption is flying all over the place, and the brain tries to pilot it back to its headquarters. And so the contraption goes back into the Atlantic, towards the carrier where all the villains are. And once there, Sky Shark, U-Man, and Master Plan are there to greet the Thing. And so a huge fight ensues, and Thing is shot at and punched, and it looks like all is hopeless. At this point, the Thing is still Ben Grimm in a Thing suit. The problem is that the artists don't care about that, they just draw him as the Thing. The Thing lashes back at the villains, and Master Plan decides to take Thing on himself. And all the villains fight back, shooting and punching the Thing. And here comes U-Man, and it looks like the Thing is defeated. But the Liberty Legion comes to the rescue, and they beat the crap out of all these World War II villains. And Jack Frost, who's basically Iceman, lends his hand towards defeating U-Man. And Blue Diamond and Patriot punch the crap out of U-Man. Whizzer beats the tar out of Master Plan. And they all finish up their duties defeating these villains. Thing threatens Brain Drain, but Brain Drain escapes. And the Thing is like, I have to go back to my time, but I'd like to stay and beat the crap out of that guy more. Sky Shark escapes and ejects his companion here, who has to be rescued by Miss America. The Watcher appears, and that's a signal that the Thing has accomplished his mission. He's gotten all the vibranium that he needed that was stolen from his time and helped the German government to defeat everyone in the 40s. But now time is going to be fixed, and he says farewell to the Liberty Legion and goes back to his time. And Thing asks the Watcher if he can talk, and that's a no-go. And so the Watcher gradually disappears, and the Fantastic Four, who were locked out of the room with the Thing and the Watcher, come in and ask what the hell happened, and Thing is like, I just saved the world once again. Here's the rest of the vibranium, and he walks away. The end. This was a cool issue, and it was good in introducing a lot of these, reintroducing a lot of these old World War II characters that were fairly forgotten. I hope you like going through this with me. If you like what you saw, please give a like to this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Lots of great comic book stuff on here. So until next time, take care.